Sadiq Khan and his attitude towards the Unite the Kingdom march may well have led to fatalities at the event. The reason is because Tommy Robinson had originally wanted the rally to be in Trafalgar Square or in Parliament Square, but Sadiq Khan banned it, and he is the boss of those two squares. Instead, Tommy was forced to have the rally on Whitehall, and we now have seen that there have been injuries as a result of a major crush on Whitehall. I'm going to talk just in a moment to somebody who believes that it might have been even worse than that. We saw Tommy backstage begging paramedics and police to take action, but I will tell you, if anyone was killed on today's march, then Sadiq Khan has blood on his hands. Hello, everyone. This is Andre Walker. Thanks so much for joining me from a restaurant nearby the march. We had to get out of there because it was absolutely chock-a-block. Even after the first song was sung at the rally, members of staff were begging people not to come onto Whitehall. And similarly, we saw paramedics hauling elderly people off. I'm joined by Councillor Alistair Chambers. He's a good friend of mine, and we just want to talk this over. So first of all, Alistair, I mean, obviously that decision by Sadiq Khan to ban the protest from Trafalgar Square or Parliament Square. Trafalgar Square is where Tommy Robinson wanted it. If there have been fatalities today, Sadiq Khan's got to resign, right?
100%. This is all on Sadiq Khan. It should have been Trafalgar Square. There was easily 3 million people there, easily 3 million people. The bottleneck was caused going straight down Whitehall. It's madness, and there's only one person to blame, that's Sadiq Khan.
So I made a video earlier where I said I thought 1 million people came. You've been working with me all day. You think that's garbage, don't you?
Absolute garbage, yeah. There's easily 3 million people. I've seen Twickenham Stadium with 100,000 people empty, and it's easy 30 times that for sure.
So just to explain the original plan and what Sadiq Khan said. So originally the plan was that there would be a march from probably Waterloo through Parliament Square, up Whitehall, and then the whole of Trafalgar Square would be used. Now remember, lots of protests in Trafalgar Square all the time. Sadiq Khan banned that. Now, officially it was because of health and safety, but in reality we all know it's because Sadiq Khan hates the Tommy Robinson movement, rightly or wrongly. But then we had this really ludicrous situation whereby we were forced to, the whole protest was forced to go on to Whitehall. I have to say, even when we arrived, and we arrived early as journalists, we really struggled, didn't we?
We did struggle, but going there now, Andre, it's absolutely bonkers. It's chock-a-block, it's bedlam. And the worst thing is there's just too many people there, and the crowd, it's nothing to do with the crowd. The crowd are just polite. Everyone's saying, excuse me, thank you, I'm sorry. But people are getting squashed. There's no two ways about it. People are getting
And what
squashed.
did you see?
I saw an elderly man on the floor, people stepping over, trying to help him up, and there's just nowhere for him to go. They couldn't take him anywhere because it was just too many people.
I mean, I have to say what I saw. So I accessed, just for people who know the geography of it, I accessed the whole event from the back. I got off at Charing Cross and went in that way. And when Tommy Robinson arrived, I didn't understand what was going on. He was not a happy bunny, and he was really kicking off and having an argument with his staff. What I realised now, it wasn't him arguing, it was him demanding action over this crush.
Exactly that.
But you saw the other side.
Well, I came at the other side to you. I came at Whitehall and onto Parliament Square and then just past Waterloo Bridge. And what makes it worse is there's literally an army of people coming across Waterloo Bridge. It's a great sight to see, don't get me wrong, flags flying, banners there, but the worry is there's more people being pushed into what is already an overloaded bottleneck.
So you reckon both Westminster and Waterloo Bridge were full?
Both bridges were full to the brim, and there's literally what looked like was an old sort of army coming across the bridge waving the flags, and it's a great sight to see for sure.
Yeah, it's just such a worry, and I just wonder, you know, you're a councillor, so admittedly you weren't here in your capacity as a councillor. You were helping me out film for my YouTube channel, and I appreciate that, and we've been mates for a long time. But what questions are going to be asked of the police and Sadiq Khan? Forget fatalities. You know, we saw people trampled, and we know that it was later shown, well, it was shown pretty quickly that it was a mistake to have picked that arrangement. What questions are asked of this guy? Will Sadiq Khan care?
I think Sadiq Khan should resign because he's actually put life at risk. There's no two ways about it.
For his own politics.
He put people's lives at risk purely for the fact that he doesn't like Tommy Robinson. He didn't want him at Trafalgar Square. And as a result, he's forced this bottleneck situation where it's chock-a-block. People can't escape. It's getting crushed. People are being hurt. And this is all down to Sadiq Khan. He's an arsehole.
Yeah, I've got to be honest with you. I mean, I'm just very upset about it, and I think the other thing is just to raise one other thing about Trafalgar Square. You know, it was always the plan to have the statue of the Queen, Queen Elizabeth II, on the fourth plinth, but he didn't do that. What upsets me is he puts dogma ahead of things, but he always gets away with it. So if there have been crushes today, there's definitely been a crush. If there have been injuries, there's definitely been injuries. But if there is a death, I'll tell you what Sadiq Khan will say: far right thugs got drunk. Violence. Did you see any evidence of far-right thuggery, violence, drunkenness?
No, I saw children there. I saw pushchairs. I saw mobility scooters. I saw people come together as a community. I saw no thuggery, no violence. And for the 3 million people I saw coming by, it took me about 2.5 hours to work my way through the crowd. I didn't see a police officer till right at the end.
Yeah, that's right. So the whole of Whitehall, that street, basically, they guarded Downing Street, but essentially they just left everybody to it in the middle.
Exactly that. And, well, they left everyone to it, but they haven't helped with coordination of the crowd. And people interested and keen to see Tommy Robinson, more people are pushing to the front. It's natural.
Yeah, of course.
But ultimately, it's a dead end. It's a bottleneck. The lid's on the bottle.
And also, let's just to demonstrate for the camera, if you think about it, you know, if you've got a stage and it has that sort of hemicycle of people watching, that's very different to having one street, if you see what I mean.
Yeah, and the worst thing about the street is as well, it's got cast iron Victorian railings, sharp railings either side. There's no escaping.
Yeah, that's right.
There's no way of people to get out. And the small sort of nook and crannies where people could escape if there was a crash have got Harris fencing across them. It's like he's pre-planned something to happen.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I'll tell you what he's done. So he hasn't pre-planned. I understand why you said that, by the way. But it's basically
as in Sadiq Khan.
Yeah. Basically, Sadiq Khan doesn't give a toss, and if people are injured, then it's all good for him because he can blame us.
That's exactly right. I think that's what he's looking for. I think he's looking for a tragedy so he can blame, they're far-right thugs, got drunk, squashed each other, no care for each other, and put the onus on.
And I guarantee you the Guardian won't say anything.
I couldn't see any mainstream media there, and I've seen nothing on their websites or channels as well.
I mean, I will say one thing that I'm going to say to you. So, look, I don't think you and I are Tommy Robinson supporters particularly, because actually we're more people who are, you know, patriotic. The reason I say we're not Tommy Robinson supporters, I'm not saying we're against him, but we're not, you know, we're not football people, we're not EDL type people. But my impression of the crowd that I saw was basically, it was just every man and his dog in reality.
For sure. That's what I liked. There wasn't just the football thugs. There wasn't just the football fans.
Don't call them football thugs.
No. It wasn't, because out of 3 million people, you are going to get a handful of thugs.
Yeah, I get
You are going to get a handful of thugs. About 3 million people, you had your mothers, you had your grandfathers, you had your children, you had your grannies. You had your disability people, you had your people on your mobility scooters, your push chairs, your tricycles. Literally, there was somebody pushing somebody with a tricycle.
I saw that.
And what I'm saying is you are going to get a handful of thugs. You can't get around it. But ultimately, what I saw there was compassion, community, grassroots kind of loving for the community. It was great. It was great to see.
Okay, well, look, as we sit here right now, we do not know how bad this crush has been. I just want to absolutely pray and ask you to pray for everybody involved. We know there have been injuries. We know paramedics were called. We know Tommy Robinson asked for assistance from the police. What the hell has gone on today? You know, there's going to have to be questions asked at the London Assembly. Until then, goodbye.